Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So if you're new here, my name's Koa and this is Koa's Plant Corner. So fun fact, this is actually the third time that I'm filming this video. I didn't like the way it came out the first time or the second time. So hopefully third time is the charm, you know? Is a charm? Is the charm? Third time is a charm. The charm. Hopefully this time it works, okay? So today I'm filming a Hoya collection video. I have a healthy amount of Hoyas. I did have a lot more, maybe like last year, not maybe, like mid last year I had like a lot more, but I kind of downsized since then. So I'm going to show you guys what I have since a lot of people has been asking me for my Hoya collection. Yeah, so let's get into it. Okay, so first up, this is my Hoya Acuta Variegata. This is what it looks like. It was a little bit bigger before, a few months ago, but the majority of my Hoyas did suffer from like excessive underwatering. I just kind of neglected them, you know, wrongfully, but you know, it happened. It happens. This is what it looks like right now. It was actually originated from a 2-leaf cutting. I think this maybe has mica on it. This could be one of the OG leaves, this one here. And I think the next one was, maybe it's not here. Maybe it was a 1-leaf cutting. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure the 2-leaf cutting I got it from though. But I pretty much chopped it up. It was like a vining plant. I think it had a trellis at the time too. It also was in my Mills bow. This was a while ago. I think it was in my Mills bow. I chopped it down to 2-leaf cuttings. I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4 cuttings in here. And I'll show you some new growth, like this part here. New growth here. Super cute. New growth on this end. Can you see that? Yep. 2 new leaves there, including this one. Where's the other one? That one's kind of hard to see, but I'll try to make an effort. These 2 down here, these are new leaves. So you can see like all the tendrils are healthy. It has active growth on it, so it's hard to see, but active growth on the tendrils, so that's good. The majority of my Hoyas are in variegated shop plants and Ina's mix. I think that's what it's called. I'll link it down below. I did mention this before. I think I did mention her pond mix before. It's like a colorful mix. I've been using it for years now, and it works really well for like rooting Hoyas. I do have, actually I have 2 anthuriums in it and it's been going well too. So this is in half perlite at the bottom, that's why it's all algae ridden, and the top is Ina's mix, and I don't know if you can hear that, but it's pretty dry. It's kind of like, you know, a theme for me and Hoyas. But first up is the Hoya Acuta Variegata. Second one up is a Survivor. Oh, this is a new tendril. This is new. Okay, so this is my Hoya Merrillii. I did originally have a Calistophylla with this, but I'm pretty sure that I had flat mites because it was just really stumpy, and it like never, it would put out a leaf and then kind of like crumble up. It just never really grew correctly. So I just tossed it. Wasn't really in love with the cutting anyway. But this is the Hoya Merrillii that survived. This is also from a 2-leaf cutting. I had 2 plants of these. I don't know what happened to the other plant, but I have this one. You can see the little veination there on the leaves, really cool. It's a thicker leaf too. It's thicker. Yeah, it's pretty. There's like a lot of veining on it. It's kind of hard to see with the light, but is there splashing on this one? No splashing, super simple. These are the newer leaves here. They kind of look a little sun stressed. I think I moved it down from the light a little bit, so it's not going to be as red as I want it to, but it's fine. Another leaf. And it kind of dried up. You can see the original tendril here dried up. Is it hard to see? It's hard to see. The original tendril there dried up, but it's growing a whole new tendril, which is all new. So I'm going to leave it. I think I wanted to chop it like back here, because there's no leaves on this little node area here, but I think I'm going to leave it, just let it do its thing. And once it gets a little bit bigger, I'm going to go ahead and trellis them. And I'll show you a Hoya that I have that I trellis. That was before everything kind of got underwater and I had to chop everything back down, but I'll show you guys how I trellis my Hoyas as well in a second. But Second up is the Hoya Merrillii. Oh, I forgot to show you the mix too. So it's leca on top because I ran out of the Ina's mix, or I thought I did. I found more in my garage. This is Ina's mix here in the center. You can see all the roots, the beautiful rootage there. At the bottom is leca as extra drainage for drainage and everything. That's where I kind of leave the reservoir in the leca portion. Next plant, I have a few types. I have like multiples of different types of this plant. You'll see, but this is my Hoya Bella Albo Variegata. I think that's right. These names, like, yeah, I can't with the names. The Hoya names are crazy. And let's not even talk about when it starts getting into numbers with the letters. No, I can't do it. But this is my Hoya Bella Variegata, Albo Variegata. I had a big mother plant. I'll put a picture of it here. It was really big. I had this one as well as the other variant in it, and it went through that underwatering. I took cuttings, but I only saved, like, I think it was like one vine from it, and then it kind of split, and now it's this. So this is what's left of my mother plant of that plant. But yeah, you can see it's growing. That's always a good sign for me. Growth there, growth there. It's really cute. I have it again in Ina's mix, and it's in like this cup that I first potted it in, and now it's growing and doing well. It's kind of hard to show you the roots, but I want to try to show you the roots and all the plants. So there's one root there, you can see if my camera would focus. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you. Right there, ding, that's a root. So Hoya Bella Albo Variegata. Next up is the other plant that was living with that Albo Variegata. This is my Hoya Bella Lida Buis, I think it is. Lida Buis? I don't know. I say Bois, I don't know why. Because Bois in French is B-O-I-S, right? Lida Buis? I don't know. This is what it looks like. This was actually, oh I lied, this was actually not with that plant. The Lida Buis that I had in that plant died too. So I actually got another cutting from Ashley Nicole. That's who I got the original Lida Buis from, the cutting from. This was, I think it was a 2 or 3 leaf node cutting. The bottom leaves kind of like fell off, or I think I plucked them off and just potted it deeper into the pot so that I can have more opportunity for roots. So this is what she's looking at like right now. I did chop her, that's why there's no active growth on top, but I'll show you that propagation there. So again, Ina's mix, some perlite on top, it's kind of weird, and then some leca at the bottom. And there's actually water in these reservoirs, guys. I'm proud of myself for keeping these Hoyas watered because I don't want it to be underwatered. That's where the problem starts, okay? So next up, I'm going to show you guys a cutting from that same Lida Buis plant. This is the cutting, super cute, and it's sun-stressed, like it's really pink. Yeah, with new growth too. You can see, if you can, it's like a little tiny baby leaves. I'll try to zoom in if I can, but also an Ina's mix as well in a little cup. And I just have it with like a humidity dome on top of it, and this is how this one lives. This is gonna be my plant from the Lida Buis once I actually sell that one. And I just wanted to keep a cutting for myself because I don't know, I think I'm kind of sentimental. When I get plants from people, I want to like make sure I keep a piece of the plant, you know, from the person. So I'm keeping this one from Ashley because she's amazing. And next up, I'm going to show you my most recent acquisition. Next up, I'm going to show you my most recent Hoya plant purchase. This is another Hoya Bella Lida Buis. As you can see there, it's a lot fuller than the one that I have right now. There's 2 cuttings in there, but one of the cuttings split in half. I mean split, not in half, but just split. So it's like 3 different vines. My camera's being funny today, guys, sorry, let me back up. This is what it looks like, super cute, active growth. And the seller that I got this from, it came with these little like transparent little like name tags. There it is, you can see Hoya Bella Lida Buis, whatever. Super cute. So I have it in here, even though I know the name of the Hoya, but I like the little name tag thingies. It's cute. This is my, so this is like what, my third this is my third Lida Buis. The Hoya Bellas are a plant that I can really like, I love those. I can collect those, I can keep those. They are a little bit more finicky because they don't like to dry out at all. Because the leaves are so thin and small to me. In my experience, it's not smart to let them dry out at all, but this is fun. So I have 3 of them, that's why I have it. So this is my 4th plant, I think. That's the 5th, 6th, whatever. Hoya Bella Lida Bois. This is the last one. The last Lida Bois. Okay, so next up is not a Hoya, but I consider these to be Hoyas because the care is very similar. This was like, I think, a few node cuttings as well from Ashley Nicole on Instagram. I'll link her down below as well. This is my Dischidia Ovata here. I consider Dischidias to be Hoyas because the care is almost similar, right? But this is it right here. It's very sun-stressed. It's really cute in this pot, isn't it? I wanted to get like a really cute pot that didn't have color on it so that the plant itself can be the color. So cute. Sun-stressed. It's really small. Some vines did like shrivel up because, you know, me and the underwatering, like, we just have a pact in life. I don't know why. When it comes to Hoyas, at least, not for Anthuriums. But yeah, I think it's doing well. It's growing some active growth. Let me show you the active leaf is right there. Can you see that? Yeah, some vines are dried up, as you can see that one right there. Dried out. This one right here. Can you see that? On the side. Dried out as well. But I think it's doing well. I have it actually in mini leca. I was testing it out. I actually rooted this plant in mini leca. So I decided just to keep it in there just to see how it goes. I think it's going well so far. No drainage. This is a closed vessel that it's sitting in, and yeah, it's going well so far. So Dischidia Ovata. Next up is a Hoya that I thought I was going to get rid of, but the thought of getting rid of it just made me really sad, so I didn't get rid of it. This is my Hoya Rangsan. Again, like my other Hoyas, this one was actually a lot bigger. It was trailing, but I chopped it back down. So now I have 3 cuttings in here. The vine keeps drying back down, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I put it in... Oh. Let me show you the roots first of all. As well, this is also an Ina's mix. But look at the roots on that. Yeah, a little dusty because there's no reservoir in there anymore. But this sits in here so that I can add some more water in it so that I can stay hydrated. I almost said moisturized. So it can stay hydrated. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. Some splashing on the leaves. It's really pretty. Like, I like the splashiness of Hoyas, but the minimal splashing is kind of fun. This one has like almost like a the veination is there. You can see the veination on there, but it also has a little bit of texture to the veination, if that makes sense. So it's like where the veination is, it's a little bit raised. So not only does it give you that like visual contrast to the veins and the regular leaf, but also it has like a texture contrast as well. So it's bumpy, smooth, if that makes sense. But yeah, it has a little splashing on it. There's 3 cuttings in here. This cutting actually flowered. Can you see how small that peduncle is? I don't know if my camera can focus on it, but let me try to. It's like the smallest little peduncle that happened. So weird. This is actually the first successful tendril. I don't know if the Rangsan is like difficult to care for, but this is one that it's thirsty as well. Maybe that's why it keeps drying out. It's just really thirsty. And I think I watered it like a few days ago, and again, the vessel is dry. But yeah, Hoya Rangsan, really cute. I can't wait for this one to actually grow up so that it can get bigger and trail. And when that happens, I'm a little concerned because I don't know where I'm going to put these Hoyas. But for now, they all live in my Fabricore greenhouse. Last but not least, for the little baby Hoyas. Oh, I lied. Yeah, kind of, for the baby Hoyas. This is my, oh my gosh, fudge. Hoya Wilbur Graves. I don't know if it's China or Russia. Isn't there a China one? Hoya Wilbur Graves. I'll put the right name on the screen. I'm sorry. This is my Hoya Wilbur Graves. It's actually in a plastic pot with perlite. I rooted it in perlite, and I just haven't had the chance to take it out of there. You can't even see any roots because the algae is serious on this. But I have it in this drainage pot just for it to hold the weight of the plant because it's gotten a lot bigger. This is a new tendril, as you can see. I wrapped it around twice so far. This is like my DIY, can you even see? My camera is like, oh, it's too bright, I can't focus. This is my DIY trellis. I just buy this bendable wire and I just make the trellis shape. Yeah, so this is going well. This is one that took a while to actually show, like to start pushing out any type of new growth. I was really patient with it and it paid off because now it's looking really cute. Yeah, so I actually wrapped it around twice, like I said, secured it down, make sure that the tendril is still facing upward so that it doesn't dry out or anything. So far, it's fine. So we're gonna leave it alone. Okay, we're gonna leave it alone and just let it be. This is actually also under my fabric core, but I think the lights are a little bit too bright for it. 'Cause I don't know if you can notice or if you see the leaves are starting to yellow a little bit. So I think I may pull it out and put it somewhere else. Not sure where. I was thinking about hanging it from my ceiling somewhere, but anyway, Hoya Wilbur Graves something, is if that's what it's called. I don't know. All right, so next up is another Hoya Bella plant. This is the Hoya Bella Variegata, Albo Variegata. This is actually one that I bought from the same seller that I just got the new Hoya Lida Bois from, the full one from. So this is, isn't this cute? Just look at this. Isn't this cute? Is it just me? Okay. So I really told myself, like, I'm done with Hoyas. Like, Hoyas are just whatever. Then I saw this for like a steal on Etsy and I said, oh yeah, I have to get that. Yeah, I have to get that. And look at the peduncles too. There's like so many peduncles. There's one here. There's one here. They had another one that was like really big, but it fell off, and I'm assuming it's because of the like the acclimating process to my space. So I got this I think last week. So it's pretty new, still fresh in the collection. Again, the Hoya Bella Anneke Bois. This is what the Alba one is also called. She had the little label thingy, so cute. This is actually in stratum and pon, which is very new to me. So I don't know, guys. I have it in here. Wait, it's in a small pot. Hold on. It's in a small pot and it gets like thirsty a lot. So I have it like in a pot within a pot just to hold the weight up because the front is like so heavy that it was coming out of the pot. So I have it in like a pot with Leka, which is in this white hanger basket. But isn't that cute? It's so cute. Oh, I love it so much. Trailing Hoya is so pretty. So this is the Hoya Bella Albo Variegata or the Hoya Bella Anneke Buis. I don't know how to say it. So just like the Anneke Buis lives back there against my window, this one does as well. The next few plants actually are from my window. They sit right there. So they get bright light. This one is my Hoya Pubicalyx Splash. I think it's the pink one. When I had it in my Fabricore greenhouse, it was like really pink, the variegation, or the splash was like really pink. But since that, and plus it had scale, so I had to chop it down, clean the scale off, isolate it for like months because I was not playing. The scale destroyed it. And I was like, first I saw scale, I'm like, okay, it's a scale, you know, whatever. But then like, it spread fast. So if you see like one potential scale in your plants, guys, like, get rid of it right away because it spread fast and it kind of destroyed this plant. And I was back down to the original cutting as well as the top one that I had made. So 2 cuttings are in here. It's really full though. Isn't that cute? It's kind of hard with the, I'll take this off. Just for the sake of the video, I hate putting these thingies back on, the hangers for these planter thingies. But let me pull it out of here too. This is what it looks like. Also in a pon Ina's mix as well as, ooh, it's so tight. Ooh, this is also an Ina's mix with some perlite with it. This is what it looks like. Super pretty with the splashingness. Again, it's like minimal splashing, like not like the silver, like the silver dollar, what's it called? Silver dollar Hoya, like how it's all silver. It's not like that, but I think I prefer this a lot better with the little green with the splashing. New vines, new growth. I'm tripping over the hanger that just fell. New growth right there. New growth right here. And these vines, I know a lot of people just chop them off, but it really depends on the look that I'm going for with the plant. So if I want a fuller plant, I'll go ahead and keep trimming it down so that it can branch out. But this one, I think I like the way it's growing, and my goal or my vision is for it to actually start to trail up that hanger, and I can keep tying it and just have like a, you know, cute little display of the plant climbing up as well as some of it trailing down. that's the goal of it. So far, so good. So far, so well. So far, so good. So far, so good. So this plant is actually from Ashley Nicole as well. I got this as a cutting from her like, oof, 2 years ago. It was when we were still wearing face masks, so I think it was 2 years ago. But it's grown a lot. It's doing well. You know, she's cute. I love her. So this one's a Hoya Pubicalyx Splash. I think it's the pink. All right, now I gotta put it all back. Golly, Kaida, golly. You're not gonna help me? Oh, you wanna say hi? Do you wanna say hi? Come. Where are you? Kaida? Kaida? Wanna say hi? Kaida? Do you want to say hi? Alright, she doesn't want to say hi. Sorry. I don't know. She's more interested in my necklace right now. Let me put this back and then show you guys the next plants. You don't want to say hi, Kaida? That's not nice. You gotta be friendly. But you're not really that friendly anyway, so. She does not like new people. Like, we had taken her to the event. We had taken her to the event. The vents? Why do I keep saying that? We had taken her to the vet. I believe it was last year. She has to go again this year with that. But we took her to the vet. I think it was last year. Yeah, last year. And she saw the vet. She was like nervous. She was like, whoa. She's only been around my family, and that's pretty much it. Like some friends here and there. But she was like, this lady looks different than my owners. She was just scared and she would not go to the vet. I had to hold her the whole time. She's kind of spoiled that way. Say hi. Let me say hi. Say hello, YouTube. Say hello. Alright, she's being shy. It's okay. Okay, so this next part I'm going to film on my phone because the way the tendrils are intertwined, like, there's no way. It's behind me. You can probably see it a little bit there. The Australis, Hoya Australis. It's gonna be impossible to like pull it down from there, and plus I like what it's doing right now. It's kind of like getting intertwined with the hooks and everything, so I don't want to pull it down from there and ruin what's happening. So I'm gonna film this part on my phone, and then yeah, so you guys can see it better. All right, guys. So next plant is my Hoya Australis. If you're in Jersey, then you know Williams Nursery. I had bought this from Williams Nursery before they, you know, kind of closed. But yeah, I feel like every year it kind of like undergoes a little bit of like dying back, so I just chop it all back and then it just grows and takes off. So I have the actual plant hanger here, a white hook, another white hook, and then the ceiling hook that it's actually, you know, being attached to. So you can see the leaf is kind of curled up there, like it's just doing some weird stuff. It's like a new tendril happening. No new leaves yet, but I think what I would do is probably chop it back to those leaves there and just let it branch out everywhere else. But I'm sorry, my video filming technique is weird on my phone. This is what it looks like. It's definitely getting a little bit too much sun in my opinion, but I'm not moving it from here. She's like kind of twisted up like on itself. The tendrils kind of like wrapped around each other or itself, and now it's like kind of adding extra support, which is really cute that Hoyas do that. So I'm gonna leave it alone, let it do its thing. But yeah, the Hoya Australis. I hate taking this down. I hate it. So the first time I actually brought this plant down, it almost fell. And I'll insert a clip of what happened. Like, it was actually terrifying for me. So now I don't like to bring this plant off of the plant hanger back there, but for you guys, I'll do it. Okay, so this is my Hoya Princess Crimson. This is my Hoya Crimson Princess. Why did I do that? Hoya Crimson Princess. This is what it looks like from back. It's huge. It's like long. It's still in that same 4-inch pot. I think I did a care guide for this plant, I believe, and I think it's still in the same terracotta pot that I put it in originally. I have not moved it out of here since. So, and I will do it soon, but I'm not really in a rush to do so. You can see here, this is a whole new vine that's happening. These are like recent leaves that just finished hardening off. They're not, oh, they're a little pink. It's a little tinge of pink on there. I don't know if the camera would pick up that color. There's a little bit of pink on there, so it is hardening off. One leaf on this vine means that I actually broke another leaf on this side, which is not surprising because this plant fell multiple times. New tendril up there. I do have some new growth actually happening because every year I kind of just chop a cutting off of each of the vines just so that I can have some branching out so that I can get longer and fuller. That's kind of what happened. Also, I also got it as a bigger plant as well. So if you're looking for like a big Hoya, I do suggest trying to find it already big so that you don't have much work to do. You know, you can kind of enjoy it as a big plant. So I have some new growth. I'll show you some of that now. I chopped this off a few days ago. The new leaf happening there on that end there, you can't see. Can you see against my hair? Newness happening there. There's a new leaf stuff happening right there. This is a new tendril as well. I'm not going to chop it off really. And I didn't know you could see the variegation in the stem. Or am I just tripping? No, I don't know. This one stem here has a little bit of variegation. Let me turn around so you can see. Okay, this way. This one stem has like variegation in the stem. I don't know if you can even make it out. Give it a second. There's like the green stripe there, right there, and everything else is pink. I don't know, it could be just this vine, but I don't see any other vines. It's so weird to me. Kind of cool. Yeah, so new growth hair. I chopped this off a few days ago, maybe last week before, maybe 2 weeks ago. New growth happening there. And I think just chopping it back, chopping at all the growth points like once a year. Light, thank you. So chopping it all the growth points off like once a year kind of helps, especially if some vines just stop growing. I just chop it back and then it just starts growing back again. So yeah, this is my Hoya Princess Crimson. What? Hoya Crimson Princess. Why do I keep doing that? This is my Hoya Crimson Princess. I never say that name really. Hoya Crimson Princess. And I'm going to show you some cuttings and some divisions from the mother plant in just a second. Let me just put this back carefully. Oh, there she is. Let's go all the way. My face looks so messed up right now. It looks orange. Say hi to YouTube. It looks orange. Hi. Say hi to somebody first. Hi. I know you. Oh, I'm getting bit. You ain't. That's how you show your emotions? Okay. Started the show. Say hi. We're supposed to see her brother. Oh. Yeah. It's like corn chips. What do you do? I don't know. Can you get some taqueritas out there? I'm munching on it. Taqueritas? I'm gonna go to the gym. Goodbye. This is my first video, and I have to film 2 more. Really cute though. Thanks. This wouldn't be a YouTube video without Rebecca interrupting the video, so here's your daily dose of Rebecca. Okay, so next plant is a division of that plant. This plant was actually living in my Fabricore greenhouse for a very long time, and I just pulled it out recently. This is another Hoya Crimson Princess. It's actually, oh, I forgot to mention, that plant, the Hoya Australis, is in soil, in a nursery soil. I just topped it up with my own personal soil. The Hoya Crimson Princess is also in soil, very chunky, almost like a philodendron, an aroid type of soil. It does dry out pretty fast, the Crimson Princess, so I water that one pretty often. And then the Hoya Australis, it's in like a closed pot situation. Even though it's in a nursery pot, they have like this little plastic that sits on top of the holes where the drainage would be. I kind of treat it like a closed system pot, so that's that for those plants. I forgot to mention this. This one's in a soilless mix, very chunky, almost aroid-like, philodendron-like. I just broke this leaf. Bro, what is wrong with me? Anyway, oh, you can smell it. I am so sorry. Very chunky. I use cocoa coir instead of soil pretty much, so you can see a root here. This one was kind of struggling in the greenhouse. It did underwater, like it did go under. What am I saying? I can't talk. This one was very severely underwatered as well, especially it being in a Fabricore greenhouse like the other Hoyas. They kind of just dried out really bad. Again, this one has the variegation on the stem. I feel like it just happens in some stems. Can you see that? Those 2 stems there, the variegation. Very cool. Anyway, I took cuttings of this one because my sister's friend wanted some cuttings of some Hoyas, so I just chopped from this one. Yeah, so it's a little shorter than it was before, but new growth. Something to celebrate. This plant never grew really in a Fabricore greenhouse. I think because it was just severely underwatered. That's kind of the only new growth point right now. I did chop at each growth point, so I am expecting some new growth within the next few weeks. But Hoya Crimson Princess. So I'm only considering this to be part of my Hoya collection because it's not gone yet, but this is the cutting from the Hoya Crimson Princess that I just showed you, as well as a Hoya Australis cutting for my sister's friend. I have it rooting right now in pond. You can see some new growth. I just put this in here like, was it last week? I think it was last week. You can see already new growth. Like, I have the best success with Hoyas in pond. I do have some in soil, like I said, but they came in soil. If it even comes in soil, and I think that the plant would do better in pond, I just literally chop off the roots. I've done it before, I've done it multiple times. All these Hoyas that you see here, the Merrillii, the Hoya Acute Variegated, the Rangsan, what else? Oh, the Pubicalyx splash back there from Ashley. Those, I literally chopped off all the roots on them, and I just root them freshly in pond, and it works every time. I don't really experience like leaf loss like how you would if you were to chop off all the roots of like a philodendron that has like a big vine or whatever, or like a long stem, whatever. You may experience some leaf loss, right? It's pretty normal. Anthuriums, while if they're rootless, you may experience some, you know, leaf death, whatever, or leaf loss. But with Hoyas, I haven't really experienced much of it. You probably lose like one leaf, but they're kind of quick to bounce back. So here's the cuttings in here, closed in the closed vessel in the glass pot with some roots already, which is really exciting. This is my last Hoya, guys. That's it. Yeah, the majority of the plants here that are hanging are, let me just show you. The majority of the plants that are hanging there are Hoyas. The one over there is the Pubicalyx splash. This is a silver dollar vine. It's not really a Hoya per se, but I kind of consider it to be a Hoya. And then the Crimson Princess, and then of course the Hoya Australis, and then the Hoya Bella. So yeah, they all sit in front of my window, the hanging ones there. They get highlights. My window is a southwest window, so it stays pretty bright throughout the day. Right now it is 1:19 and it's still very bright outside. I think that's it for this video. Hopefully it was a little bit less chaotic than the last two that I was editing, because I started editing it and I'm like, I can't stand to edit this anymore. Like, it was just too chaotic. Kaida was out in the video and she was just causing so much havoc around the room, and then like it was just crazy. But hopefully this one comes out a lot better. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you're interested in seeing an anthurium or like a philodendron collection. That'd be fun. Or even a succulent collection. If you don't know, I was into succulents way before any other plant type, genus, whatever it's called, aeroids. So succulents are my first love. I do have them still. They're at the bottom of my window still there. You can't really see, but they're all there, and I do plan on doing some succulent videos in the future to make some arrangements and just have fun with them, because they're kind of cute and they're easy for me. Okay, they've been great in my care. So yeah, let me know down below if you want to see any of those collection videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you're interested in watching another video, check out this one here where I talk about my plants that are on the struggle bus, and I'm gonna do an update video on that one too. So go ahead and watch that video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.